Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Oh, we got some friends on. Awesome. If you could type in the chat, that'd be great. No worries if not. My name is Lauren, and this will be a 45-minute practice, a little on the slower side. I think that'll typically be the flow. Like Tuesday will be a little bit of a slower practice. Thursday will be a little bit more of a energizing flow. So when you're ready, let's go ahead and take our seat. Feel free to play music on your end, since I'm not playing music on my end. But yeah, get cozy, and we will start like this. Finding a nice, comfortable seat. So if this doesn't feel good for you, feel free to take a butterfly, feel free to sit in a different way. But what we want here is a nice neutral spine. So try not to slouch here. Takes practice for this to feel good and comfortable. And then place your hands on your knees and we'll go ahead and get started. Feel free to set your watch if you'd like to. All right. So eyes are closed. Bringing the ears back a few inches. And just starting to slow down the breath. Arriving in this moment, bringing your attention to the present. So every practice, I like to start a few minutes just in a seated meditation to ground us and completely transition from whatever we were doing before this. So maybe your mind is running over things that you need to do later, or perhaps, you didn't get to certain things and you're feeling a little stressed or anxious. I invite you to release that and trust yourself for these next 45 minutes. Trust that when we do this practice, when we move our bodies, that we create space and capacity for new things. Inhaling again through the nose. Exhaling, softening in the body. So finding this nice neutral spine, keeping your chin parallel, the bottom of your chin parallel to the floor. Shoulders stacked over ribs, stacked over hips. Sitting and knowing that you're sitting. Let's give ourselves a break. And then on your own, start to take one ear to one shoulder and then draw the chin to the chest. And then the other way. Good, and then again. Right, so what we want to do here is just start to open up, create more space in the body. Good, feel free to take the nose towards the sky and find that neutral spine. Look towards your right and look towards your left. Good. And then back to center. Flutter the eyes open if they're not already. Take in the space, take in your things, take in each other. Even though this is virtual, I know that someone is there. You know that I'm here, even though I'm not in the physical space with you. Just taking a moment to notice this connection. And I like to say this, we are apart, but not alone. Inhale, reach those arms up to the sky, shoulders down. Exhale, press away. I've been using this like new corny little phrase that I love. Inhale, you gather the stars. And then you exhale, you spread the stars, you give them away. And here we're just connecting breath and movement. So there is purpose here, right? Inhale, reach. Exhale, release. Good. Keeping your fingertips on the earth. Take one hand to the side of the head and just do a gentle stretch here. Breathing in and breathing out. Inhale, lift. We'll do the other side. Take the other fingertips down and stretch. We'll take our first seated twist. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, take one hand to the opposite knee. Look over the back shoulder. Sit up nice and tall. Try not to collapse back. Breathing in and breathing out, staying present. Good. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist the other way. Sit up nice and tall. Good. And then come back through center. See if you can press your palms together, uncross the legs so that the other leg is now underneath or on top. I had to use my hand there. And then just shimmy side to side. Good. And then we'll take a nice side stretch. So taking fingertips down, I'm going to walk it out without lifting the hip bones and then take the arm above. And you can almost press away from the mat here as you reach those fingertips to the side. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Maybe you open it up. Don't rush the yumminess. Good. Inhale, lift up through center. Walk it out. Exhale, other side, keeping the hip bones down. Ooh, maybe there's this counter stretch. Peeling the rib cage back. Open up the arm. And then back. Okay, and then from here, I want you to curl forward. And this is where you might want to grab a prop or a block or a bolster. And you can take your arms on the block or your forehead down. And we just release here. Breathing in and breathing out. Good, and then slowly lift it on up. Beautiful here. So you're going to take your legs directly in front of you today. We call this Dandasana. So you're going to engage through the heels, toesies lifted. All right, and this is where you might want to grab a block, bolster, blanket. I'm going to lean my body over my props here. So we're going to just alleviate the lower back. So I'm going to sit up nice and tall. I'm going to extend the block or the bolster or the blanket on my legs. And you can kind of get creative here. Find something that feels good. Maybe you stack the blocks here and you kind of just lean over. And just relax here. Really turn to one way. I'm feeling this in the back of my legs. I'll just hang here for a few moments. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Allowing things to soften, staying present. Good, and then slowly roll it on up. Beautiful. And then we're going to kind of counter twist, counter stretch that. You're going to move that block or blanket or pillow or bolster. And you're going to take the edge of it towards your tailbone. I'm going to scoot you forward, bring this up, and then I'm going to align my entire spine. Oh, yeah, down. And then you're going to open up your arms in a cactus pose. So this is really good if you feel tight in the lower back, if you feel tight in the chest, especially from being on your laptop all day. Feel free to take the soles of your feet together in a butterfly pose. Just taking a moment here. Notice what you feel. You know, if you don't have like this bolster that I do, you could take 2 pillows and stack them. You could take a couple of blankets, roll them up. Or let's say you don't have anything nearby, just lay on the floor. Open up the chest, soften in the body. Stay here. Notice where your mind went. With every exhale, softening a little bit more into the body. Good. And then slowly flutter the eyes open. All right. And then you're going to roll to one side. Just rolling off. And then meet me back on your seat. Feel free to remove that bolster. And from here, we're going to swing to our tabletop. So hands directly underneath the shoulders, knees directly underneath the hips. Find that nice neutral spine. And then on your own, take a few cow-cats. Drop the belly, inhale, look up. Exhale, press away. And again, inhale, cow. Finding what feels good. Finding what the body wants right now. Exhale. Good. Extend one leg back. Boop. Cross it over. And then anchor that heel down and away as you look towards the foot. Breathe. Good. And then come back through center. And we'll do that the other side. Cross over, look over, anchor the heel down. And then back to your table. Take any cat-like movement. So taking a nice little circle. Maybe wagging the tail, looking at it, or looking away from it. Good. And then from here, you're going to reach your fingertips a little bit more forward, probably like 1 row forward. And you're going to claw your hands into the floor, and you're going to shift your weight into the front of your hand. So into an upward facing dog, basically. And then you're going to take the hips, circle it all the way around your mat, passing through child's pose. Just noticing what's coming up for the body, what feels a little tight, right? And as you notice these things, being nice and kind to the body. Good. And then from here, just go straight into a child's pose, resting the forehead down, shimmying the shoulders down the back, sinking the hips into the heels. Notice what you feel here. Maybe your wrists need a little break. Take a nice little circle. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Stay with me. I definitely miss hearing music while I do this, so play music if you'd like to. Inhale, lift the head up. And then exhale, we're going to shoot out, not shoot out, but go into our first plank. So lifting the knees off the floor, pressing away from the mat, heels reaching back, shoulders stacked over the wrist. Notice what you feel in the belly here, in the shoulders. Good, and then exhale, yay, first downward facing dog. Pedal the heels down. Shake the head left and right. Try not to sink into that back, so keep that nice long spine. I know oftentimes we'll see a little divvy. I want you to keep that neck and spine neutral. Keep anchoring the shoulders down. Good, and then inhale, go back to your plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Keep the shoulders going down the spine. Rotate the inside of the elbows forward towards the inside of the mat. Walk your dog, hips high to the sky. Remember, you can always change your dog, so if you need to bend your knees and dip the hips up, feel free. Exhale, come back to plank. Rock to the toes, draw the elbows in, lower your body down to the earth. Woo. Wiggle, wiggle. Good. Bring the hands underneath your forehead, elbows out. We call this crocodile pose. Shimmy the hips left and right. And then lift your feet up to the sky and windshield wiper, loosening up that lower back. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Good, and then release your knees and toes back to the floor. You're gonna bring your hands back underneath the elbows. So notice I'm not here. I'm gonna bring them back so they're underneath the elbows. Shimmy the shoulders down, claw your hands in, and inhale, lift up for baby cobra. So lift the kneecaps off the floor, keep a neutral neck. You don't wanna arch that neck. That's how we kind of hurt our back. And then exhale, release. Good, press your hands into the floor, tuck the toes, rise up to your plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. So every time we come here, how can you find more length? How can you shimmy the hips higher and walk your heels a little bit more? Good, inhale, lift your right leg up nice and high, square off the hips. Exhale, bring the knee to the nose. Let's hold it here for 4, 3, 2. Inhale, reach the leg back up, three-legged dog. Exhale, bring the right foot in between the hands. Good, pull the right hip crease back, drop the left knee. Inhale, rise up, low crescent lunge. Shoulders are down, scoop up in the front body. Right, so don't collapse here. Still engage. Exhale, take your hands to the floor. Inhale, reach your right arm up for a nice twist. Feel this in your left hip flexor. And then exhale, bring the hands back down. If you need blocks here, this is where you could use them. I'm going to push my hips back to a half splits. So my hips are leveled out, toesies towards the shin, lengthen through the spine. Okay, so it looks like that. Feel free to change the levels of your blocks. Feel free to round down here as we say bow, or inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, come back to your low crescent lunge. Pull up nice and tall. And then press your hands into the floor, lift your back knee, and step your right foot back to downward facing dog. Pedal the feet. We'll do the same thing on the other side, finding space. Inhale, lift your left leg up nice and high. Square off those hips. Exhale, knee to nose. Come to your cheetah. 4, 3, 2. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, bring that left foot in between the hands. Woo, pull that left hip crease back. Drop the right knee, scoop up, and rise up to your low crescent lunge. Good. Reach, reach, reach. Stretch that front hip flexor. Exhale, hands to the floor. Inhale, lift your left arm up. Nice twist. Feel the stretch in the right hip flexor. Keep pulling up towards the sky. Notice what you feel here. Any resistance, any tightness, all good. Bring the hands back down. Grab those blocks if you need them. Shift the hips back, meet me in a half splits. Drop that left hip so it's in line with the right. Feel this stretch in the back of the calf and in the hamstring. Keep that neutral neck. Anchor the hips back. Breathe. Good, and then come back to your low lunge. Just notice what you feel here. Breathing in and breathing out. Remove the blocks if you have them by you. Boop, boop. And then bring your hands to the earth and swing that left foot back to downward facing dog. Whew. Nice. Pedal the feet. All right, so keep this neutral spine. Try not to jut your chest through. Just keep it in alignment with those shoulders. And then inhale, lift through the heels, roll through the entire body, meet me into a plank. Here you can take your first chaturanga dandasana if you'd like. Whoop. Lower down and rise up, keeping your hips and knees off the floor in upward facing dog. Exhale, roll through the feet, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the right leg up nice and high. Exhale, bring the right foot through. Pull the right hip crease back. Drop the left knee. Inhale, reach up again. Low crescent lunge. Exhale, hands to the floor. Take a twist. Finding our flow. Repeating the sequence. Bring the hands back down. Feel free to put them on a block. And push back to your half splits. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Anchor the hips down so they're aligned. Toesies towards the shin. Breathe. Nice. Come back to your lunge. Press your hands into the floor. Step back to downward facing dog. Walk the dog. Shoulders down the back. Right? So there's this subtle adjustment where versus here and here. Inhale, lift your left leg up nice and high. Square off those hips. Exhale, bring the left foot through. Pull the left hip crease back. Drop the back knee. Inhale, rise up, low crescent lunge. Shoulders down, pull up in the front belly. Maybe you take a little elbows back here. That feels pretty good. Exhale, hands to the floor. Inhale, lift your left arm up, twist. Ooh, breathe, open up, open up. Good. Exhale, bring the hands back down and press your hands into the mat. Extend your front leg, push your hips back, nice half splits. Wow. Notice the sensation. Half splits, no matter how many times I do it, I feel it every time. Breathe. So we can get a little closer to that leg, see what that feels like. Right? So yoga doesn't have to be like blah, 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 like repetition, repetition. Like how can we make it fun? How can we make it creative? How can we find something new? Think about that as you move today. Come back to your low crescent lunge, press the hands into the earth and step back. Downward facing dog. Notice what you feel. Does the back feel a little bit longer? Legs feel a little bit longer. Lift the heels, roll through, come back to plank. Yogi's choice for Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, lift up cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bend your knees, look to the top of your mat, step or hop your feet to meet your hands. And then widen your feet here, heel toe. This is kind of my signature flow. I'll come into a ragdoll. So grab the elbows, rock left and right. Notice what you feel in the hamstrings and the calves and the lower back. Deep breath in, let the head be heavy. Release your hands wherever they land. Heel toe your feet together. And then drop the hips down here. I don't know if there's an actual term for this. I call it a bird on a branch, where they're kind of like tucking their beak into their little belly, their feathers, and they're rounded here. And then exhale, lift your hips up, straighten the legs. Shift your weight to your toes. Notice how that feels versus back in the heels, right? So this is something just to keep in mind multiple times throughout our practice, through any of your yoga practices, right? Am I in my heels or am I evenly distributed in my weight? Inhale, lengthen, flat back. Exhale, release. So you're going to bend the knees and you're going to slowly curl up, stacking vertebra by vertebra all the way up to standing. Nice. Good job, my friend. Shake it out. Boop, boop. And then clasp the hands together behind the back. Inhale, lift up through the chest. And then take your feet a little bit wider here. Anchor the shoulders down. Take a soft bend in the knees. And I'm going to take a nice forward fold with these arms. All the way. Breathe. Shift your weight to your toes. And then bend the elbows. Release, bend the knees and slow curl up through the spine. All the way up. Heel toe your feet together and take a moment and just shake it out. Okay. So just checking in on y'all. Hope you are feeling good, feeling great, a lot more connected to the body. We're going to go into our first sun salutation. Okay. All right. So yogi's choice, you can always take variations here, make it your own. And from here, bend the knees. Inhale, reach up. I call this gather the stars. Exhale, share the stars. Inhale, lengthen the flat back, hands in the shins or the thighs. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step your right foot back. Step your left foot back. Yogi's choice for Chaturanga Dandasana. Exhale, downward facing dog. Remember, shoulders down the back. Turn the inside of the elbows forward. Inhale, lift your right leg up nice and high. Exhale, bring your right foot through. Pull the right hip crease back, rise up to high crescent lunge. First one today. If high crescent lunge doesn't feel good, feel free to take a low crescent lunge, dropping the back knee down. Breathe here, feeling nice and strong. Exhale, take the elbows down, lift up through the chest. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, hands to the floor. Take a nice twist, right arm to the sky. Exhale. This time, take your right hand on the inside of the right foot and we twist, counter twist opposite way. Just shaking it up for the brain. And exhale. Get those hands back on each side of the foot. Step back to your plank, yogi's choice for vinyasa or downward facing dog. Bend the knees, look at the top of your mat. Step or hop your feet to meet your hands. Inhale, lengthen, flat back. Exhale, release. Inhale, root to rise. Exhale, hands to prayer. Remember, you can go at your own pace, okay? Always do what feels good for your body in any given moment, okay? Inhale, reach up. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, lengthen, flat back. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step your left foot back. Step your right foot back. Yogi's choice for vinyasa or straight to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg up nice and high. Exhale, bring the left foot in between the hands. Pull the left hip crease back and rise up to high crescent lunge. Shoulders down. Shoulders stacked over hips. Keep that nice 90-degree angle in that front leg. Try to straighten that back leg. Good. Exhale, hands to the floor. Boop. Take a nice little twist. Breathe. Open up. Open up. You got this. Reach, 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 reach. Then bring the hands back down. Step your left foot back. Yogi's choice for Chaturanga Dandasana. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Hey, we've built up heat at this point. Breathe in. Breathe out. And slowly drop the knees to the earth. This time, take your knees as wide as the mat. Toesies touch, push the hips back, and rest the forehead down. We'll take a few breaths there. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Whew. Nice. Just noticing what you feel with every exhale. How can you get those hips a little bit more into the heels? Yep. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Lengthen through the spine. Allow the shoulders to melt. Stay in this present moment. Remember what we said about taking up space, creating space. When we do that on our mat, we can do that off the mat. Good. Inhale, lift the forehead up. And then from here, whoop, bring the knees back underneath you. And then we're going to claw our hands to the floor and then shift your hips forward for a nice upward facing dog, right? So I want to kind of lift the kneecaps up, shoulders down, and then exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe. Pedal the feet. Walk your dog. Breathe in, breathe out. Bend the knees, look to the top of your mat. Step or hop your feet to meet your hands. Inhale, lengthen, flat back. Exhale, release. Inhale, root to rise. Exhale, palms together. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Good. And then relax your hands. Just shake it out. And feel free to come out of your traditional Tadasana and just kind of loosen up the lower back. Twisty, twisty. As we go into the next section of our practice. Okay. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Good. Widen your stance here. Okay. Rotate from the hips, and then let's reach those arms up into goddess, and then exhale, drop the tailbone down. So drive the tailbone down, knees go back, inner thighs forward. Let's flow 3 more times. Inhale, reach. Exhale. Good. 1 more. Inhale, reach. Exhale. 1 more. Inhale, reach. Exhale. Meet me in your deep goddess. Breathe. Open up in the chest, feeling nice and strong here. You got this. 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Good. And then turn your toesies forward a little bit more. Feel free to widen your stance a little bit. And we're going to take a nice wide-legged forward fold. So you can take your hands to the hips. I'm going to shift the hips back. Take a nice flat back all the way, all the way, all the way down. Release your head. Release your hands. Good. Feel free to grab the ankles, widen the elbows, and pull yourself forward. Or you can take the fingertips towards the front. And nice stretch as you pull the hips back. I get a deep stretch in the hamstrings here. Right? Or you can take a nice tripod headstand if you have that in your practice. Feel free to take that inversion. Feel free to just grab the ankles. Find what feels good. Deep breath in, deep breath out. And then slowly, if you're in an inversion, come down. And then walk your fingertips forward. And then we're going to heel toe our feet in. And you're going to meet me in Malasana, aka Yogi Squat. If you know you're going to need a block, feel free to grab that. I'm going to drive the tailbone down. I'm going to be in my nice Malasana. So if you have a block, you can put it underneath your tailbone to sit up nice and tall and really feel the benefits of this pose. But yeah, you want your elbows on the inside of the knees. Press the palms together. Feel free to take 2 fists if you want to deepen a little bit more here. All right, close the eyes here. Deep breath in, deep breath out. And here you can also open up for a nice twist. This feels really good. Feel free to do it on the other side. I'm going to remove my block here. Open up. Ooh, I feel this, y'all. Yeah. 1 more. Good. And then you're going to rock your weight forward. Boop, and lift your hips up to the sky. Heel toe your feet together a little bit closer. Bend the knees and slow roll up through the spine all the way up to standing. Nice strong legs. Shake it out. Good job. Meet me at the top of your mat. We'll do our last sun salutation today. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen, flat back. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step or hop your feet back to plank. Rock forward for chaturanga. Then lift up, downward facing dog. Last vinyasa today. Good, good, good. Inhale, lift your right leg up. Exhale, bring the right foot through. And then this time, you're going to take warrior one. So you're going to pivot that back foot so it's 45 degrees and rise up into warrior one. Personally, warrior one is not my favorite. It doesn't feel the best on my calves. So feel free to take a wider stance here. But you want your hips facing front. Get a nice stretch in the back of the legs. Bring the hands behind you. And take a nice humble warrior going into the inside of the front thigh. Breathing in and breathing out. Good, and then release your hands to the floor. Straighten out so that you're back in your lunge. And step back to your downward facing dog. Ooh, hello legs. Inhale, lift your left leg up nice and high. Exhale, bring the left foot through. Nice, pivot the back foot so it's 45. Keeping your hips where they're at. Rise up, warrior one, left side. So my hips naturally want to turn. I have to do a little bit of work to keep them facing front. That might mean I need to widen my stance here. All right, so warrior one, hips are facing front. Breathe. Bring the hands behind you. Clasp the fingers. Lift up and take a nice humble warrior on the inside of the thigh. Hold it here. Breathe. You got this. Find your balance. Release your hands to the floor. Straighten out your back leg. Step back to your plank. Feel free to take your last chaturanga or go straight to downward facing dog. Hips high. Shake the head left and right. Make sure you're not tightening up in that neck. Good. And then inhale, lift your right leg up. And then exhale, take your nice pigeon pose. So knee towards the wrist. Swing the foot around. And you're going to walk it back into a nice pigeon. So keeping your hips leveled. All right, so we don't want just one down. Square it off and go to your lowest expression. So if this pigeon does not feel good, you always have a choice, okay? You can come down to your back and take a nice figure four here and lift up, pull the thigh towards you like that. Or you can stay seated, take the figure four and push the knee away from you. All right, so just find the pigeon that feels good. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Walk it back. Ooh, and if you feel craziness in that front knee, feel free to flex that front foot. Level out those hips. Notice what you feel. Pigeon's one of those stretches we just can't do enough, I feel like. Let go a little bit more. Good. One more breath. Beautiful. And then slowly roll out of it. Your choice if you want to do how I do. I come through, I straddle, and then I go straight into the other side and find my pigeon here. Or you can do the other option where we were in downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the left leg up nice and high. Exhale, bring the left foot, left knee towards the left wrist. Woo, walk it back. And you'll notice one side may be tighter than the other. And go down to your lowest expression. Allow the shoulders to soften. Allow the face to soften. Breathe. Don't let anything else take this moment from you. Stay present. Notice what you feel. And then slowly roll out of it. Roll out of it and then meet me in a nice second position. Sit up nice and tall. Good. So knees and toes towards the sky. And we're going to take that forward fold. If you have props, feel free to use that. So with the block, I could just rest here, right? I can take it to a different level, but what we want is knees and toes towards the sky. We'll just hang here for a few breaths. Breathe. Notice what you feel in the inner thighs. Release. So we can go a little bit lower. Soften in the face. One more breath here. And slowly start to walk it up. Oh, careful. My adductors are tight. Good, and then slowly bring the legs together. And we'll start to unwind. So knees together, thighs together, and slowly roll down to your spine. Good. Hug your knees into your chest, reach for your elbows or your wrists, rock left and right, including the head, just loosening up the lower back. Good. And then take your feet up to the sky, drive your knees down. Let's take happy baby and just rock side to side. So knees towards the earth and knees also going to the sides. Yeah. Yeah. Good. And then release. And then from here, we'll just take a nice reclined twist. I'm going to shift my hips to the left, drop my knees to the right, and look opposite direction. Soften. Let go a little bit. And then slowly come back through center. And then shift your hips the other way. And then drop your knees the opposite side. So now, recline twist the other way. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Good, and then slowly come out of it. Bring everything back underneath you. And then take your last morning stretch, reaching the arms above you. And then open up to our final pose today, Shavasana. Don't skip Shavasana. Take up space or place one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly. And let's just allow the body to surrender. Allow everything to soften. That includes around the eyes, around the jaw. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And slowly start to wiggle, rocking the head left and right. Maybe you roll the wrist. Stretch and then slowly make your way to a comfortable seated, whatever that looks like for you. And I always encourage creativity. And then meet me in your nice seated position. Shoulders down, eyes are closed. Let's take one hand to the heart and one hand to the belly. Take a deep breath in. And out. One more. Inhale. Thank you so much. Namaste. Hope you enjoy this practice. I will see y'all later. Thank you.